Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is DJ Catsanova here doing another interview. This time I had the opportunity to interview a band, Bodywash, all the way in Canada. How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty damn well. Yeah.
Well, all things considered,
Yes, all things.
we're
Yeah,
doing
no, I think
okay.
in the context, yeah, it's raining and there's a pandemic, but otherwise it's
We're
okay.
okay. Yeah.
And you're the first conference call I actually interviewed. I think anybody I've done, if they had other bandmates, it was just one person representing. So this is the first time I'm having two people on the phone.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
What part of Canada are you guys from?
I'm from Toronto in Ontario. Chris is not from Canada.
Oh,
I am definitely not Canadian. No, it's a northern Canadian accent, definitely.
I'm going to guess
No,
Australia or New Zealand.
fuck, everybody always says that.
Am I wrong?
No, it's not. No, it's. I think what happened is that my English accent met the 7 years in Canada kind of eroded it down, so it's become this weird Australian accent. But yeah, I'm actually from London originally, but we both live in Montreal, Quebec now.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Do you both speak French?
That's a hot question.
I do pretty well. My French is pretty good.
Well,
And I do considerably better. No, than better than previously.
Chris.
Than previously than I used to
I'm
do. 'cause I
pretty
used to be-
sure.
I'm pretty sure you're better than me, but
I mean, we
compared
haven't
to how I
spoken
used to
in
be-
French lately, but I think my French is still better than yours.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying it's much better than it used to be.
Is Montreal one of those Canadian cities where predominantly people speak French? That's what I think I've heard that before.
Yeah. It's in Quebec. Montreal is in the province of Quebec, which is a French-speaking province. So the sort of primary language here is French, but in Montreal you kind of get by just by speaking English too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
but
context, I'm doing my permanent residency application to become a Canadian in Quebec, and that requires me to pass a French test. So, just to give you an idea, it's basically a requirement to be a citizen here.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm assuming that Bodywash is just the two of you. I was going to ask you how many people is actually officially a part of the band.
So yeah, officially it's just the two of us, but when we play live, there's 5 of us
Oh,
to
okay.
play with the full band. Yeah.
So Chris and Rosie.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just Chris and Rosie, but we have a full band for performances.
Okay. And how did the two of you meet?
Chris, do you want to?
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, through school, basically. Yeah, we
Yeah.
both went to the same university, and that's how we met. Like the original band lineup, essentially. Realized that we were kind of into similar music, started jamming together. The rest is history, I guess. Yeah.
What school did you guys go to?
It's called McGill University in Montreal.
Oh, okay. And then how did you come up with the name Bodywash? Like, did you have other choices, or that was like, oh, we're set on this?
Well, we used to have a different name, which I'm not going to say because it's just a bad name. And we got sick of it and decided to change it. And we spent like months trying to come up with something new. And it came, I think, actually from just we were sitting around one day, and I was scrolling on my phone and saw an ad for shampoo. I was just like saying words that I saw as I was scrolling, and I saw an ad for shampoo, and I was like, shampoo, body wash, and we were all kind of like, body wash.
It's always funny to hear like band stories like that. How long have you guys been together? Like, how long has Bodywash existed?
We started playing together as Cult Classic in 2014. Oh, that's so long ago. Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a really long time ago.
So like 6 years, but we didn't become Bodywash until like 2016, I think.
So, and which role do each of you play in the band?
For like live purposes, I play guitar and I sing, and then Rosie plays synths and sings. We kind of share lead duties, but then in the recording process, it's kind of all over the place.
So,
And then live, we also have a second guitarist and a bass player and a drummer.
oh, okay. I was wondering about that. I always was curious if you guys share responsibilities. So, like, when it comes to songwriting, do you both have input, or is it just one of you?
Yeah, we both write. Chris does pretty much all the production, but we both write, and we sort of, we like tend to send ideas back and forth and sort of like build on that way.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I would say. Like sometimes Rosie will come up with like the bones of something and I'll fill it in. Sometimes I'll come up with like 20 seconds of something and Rosie does the rest. Yeah, it's kind of, and then like, like we try and tackle as many of the like instrumental responsibilities between the two of us, and then say we need like someone to record drums that aren't total shit, then we bring Ryan and he's our live drummer.
Yeah, unfortunately neither of us are good enough drummers to end up on the record. Although Chris, you'll get there eventually.
The pandemic has meant I'm drumming quite a lot actually.
Yeah,
yeah, it'll get there slowly.
That's the one instrument that I'm like learning to play. I'm like slowly watching YouTube videos. So the only song I can kind of sort of play is Mac DeMarco's Chamber of Reflection, but that's about as far as I can get.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one to play. It's hard because it's actually really slow, and slower songs are harder. That's what I've learned. I personally just take out all my pent up aggression by drumming to old Fall Out Boy albums, but that may not be your cup of tea. I realize.
I mean, I love Fall Out Boy actually, but I think I need to start off a little bit slower because it's like I'm like watching. I can't quite get to hit the snare. Oh, I don't even know the terminology, but to incorporate the kick while I'm drumming is like the hardest thing I know how to do. Like it's so hard for me to do it.
Oh, for sure. And then you start getting like the other hi-hat pedal in there as well, and suddenly you're like, how do I do this without being...
Now you're speaking French to me. So I'm not sure if you know that today is a kind of significant day for you guys. Are you aware of that?
I'm aware, actually. I don't know if Chris is.
Chris, are you aware?
I have no idea, no.
Well, I hope we're thinking of the same thing, but what I'm thinking of is that it was a year ago that we put out Eye to Eye.
Yes, it is. Today is the day. May 15th, 2019.
Okay, all right.
Damn, Chris, how you didn't know that?
I'm like, I'm not sentimental.
even when we were putting music out, I would have to like remind Chris or be like, I had to like bully him into having a beer with me the day our album came out. So.
Yeah, I purposely arranged us to do the interview today because I was doing my research on you guys, and I was like, oh, this is my first song I've heard of you guys and my favorite song of you guys. And I was like, all right,
thanks.
I have to do it on this day.
I appreciate the symmetry.
As do I.
So you got two projects out, right? That EP, Cold EP, and Comforter. But both of them, for me, it gives me like hazy memories that I think I've had, but I've never really had before. What do you think?
That sounds promising.
Yeah, like especially Eye to Eye. That's like, I make playlists every Friday. And like today I put out a playlist, and a playlist called Music to My Ears is the one that I have Eye to Eye. It's like a whole list of indie bands. If you guys get a chance, you should check it out. What do you think is the most significant thing about your sound that makes you stand out from other bands?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I told you I was doing my research.
I mean, I think the way that you just described it was really good. Like this idea of memories that you feel like you've had, but you don't actually remember them, or they might have come to you in a dream. Like I think, especially with Comforter, a lot of what we were trying to do was create that kind of atmosphere of like haziness and warmth and something that kind of envelops you. And I think that maybe or at least I think we hope that what might make us stand out more from other sort of similar sounding bands is incorporating more sort of electronic elements and trying to sort of straddle the line between being a rock band and an electronic act.
I think the Germans actually have a pretty good name for what you just kind of described, but they call it Sehnsucht, which is like nostalgia for something that you're not quite sure about. Just kind of general nostalgia. But yeah, and I feel like that's normally tied to like a specific genre for most people. Like, they're like, this is my nostalgia genre. I listen to ABBA so that I can feel like I'm 20 again or something. Whereas with us, it's more like, we kind of try and incorporate a whole bunch of different genres under that like umbrella of nostalgia almost.
So for somebody who wasn't familiar with Bodywash and they asked you to categorize your music into one genre, which one do you think what umbrella you think you would fall under?
Oh boy.
Well, okay, we used to describe ourselves as cream pop, which I still think is accurate
I've
in
never
that it
heard
was
of
like,
that one.
well,
We kind of made it up.
we kind of made it up, but I think it serves us well because it's like dream pop, but like a little heavier, and there's like
Heavy whipped dream pop.
yeah, heavy whipped dream pop. That's it.
Mhm.
That's a good way to describe it. Because do you guys actually record in the studio or do you do it at home?
A bit of both, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the majority of Comforter was in studio, but there might have been like 2 or 3 songs that were mostly at home.
Oh, okay. What about EP?
That was that was basically all done in the studio, actually, where we kind of got the opportunity to record for free with a really talented mix engineer and recording engineer. And so we were kind of like, we'll just knock this out. And it was done in the McGill studio, but like pretty much exclusively during nighttime slots. So it was all between the hours of like midnight and like 5 a.m. at this like, kind of crazy studio.
Have you ever collabed with any bands, or you guys is just like, no, this is just our project. We don't want anybody, transferring over or anything like that?
Chris and I, we both play in other bands. So we definitely like collaborate with other artists in that sense. And we also had Austin Tufts and Taylor Smith of the band Braids mix our album. So that was sort of like a form of collaborating with 2 artists that we really respect and looked up to. So that was really exciting for us working with them.
Like in terms of like production and mixing and like the more technical side of things, we like always welcome collaboration, I think, but we're probably both control freaks, and so like bringing someone else into like the actual creative process is a lot.
Do the other bandmates that play with you live, do they have any input when it comes to making and writing songs, or are they just strictly for live performances?
Ryan, our drummer, has been playing with us for a long time, and I would say his input comes through just in terms of like his innovations on the drum parts that Chris writes, and like he's contributed a lot rhythmically in that sense to the band. And often when we're like Chris and I will always write the songs beforehand, so no one else really has input in writing in terms of like composition. But sometimes when we bring them to the band, flesh them out for a live setting, Ryan will have a suggestion, or someone else will have like some input in terms of how they translate live.
It hasn't actually been a year since you guys released like Comforter, but in the meantime, have you guys been working on another project already, or are you using your time wisely during this quarantine to get some music out there?
Yeah, I think we've been like productive, relatively speaking. Like definitely working towards like LP2 at this point, the songwriting for it, and then also just like all the logistical stuff of getting funding and figuring out how all these songs fit together and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like with the pandemic, it has kind of unfortunately, at least for the next while, put an end to us being able to tour and play the songs off Comforter live. So it's kind of motivating us to get started on the next thing.
Well, before quarantine happened, were you guys able to go on tour and perform any of Comforter at all?
Yeah, we did a small tour on the East Coast last fall, where we played New York for the first time, which was really fun. We saw, we went to Philly and DC, so that was a really cool experience. And we played some festivals as well. We were supposed to be touring more this spring, so we were supposed to do Southwest and some other small festivals, and we were supposed to be going to the UK actually right about now.
Oh, we're supposed to be in the UK right now.
Yeah, so that was a bummer for sure, but hopefully somewhere down the line things will crop up again.
When it does get back to normal, you guys, you named off all these cities, but I didn't hear anything about the West Coast. I didn't hear San Francisco. I didn't hear Oakland.
The West Coast is like the unattainable dream, like I really
we would
do
love
want to go out. Like literally more than anything. Do you know how much I would kill for some sunlight right now?
Yeah.
I would do unspeakable things to go down on the West Coast, but and to play for the good people on that side. But like one step at a time.
It's definitely a goal. I'm not sure how achievable it is yet, but it's a goal.
But I mean, going to the UK, that's for me at least. I guess because I'm a huge Europe fan, but the UK would have been a bigger goal than going to California. I'm like, California, everybody goes to California, but to play in the UK was like huge.
Well, what made the UK possible was that we got booked on a couple of festivals over there. So that sort of gave us the like purpose to be like, okay, we can put up the money for this. So I guess it's really just about booking something on the West Coast. So we got to make ourselves do it.
All right.
And I think, from my point of view, it's like England doesn't really have a whole load of novelty for me. It's kind of just Bojo's backyard. Whereas, like the West Coast is like something I've never experienced that side of Canada or the US really. So that'd be pretty cool to have a new experience thrown in there.
Where would you like to see Bodywash in the next? Like, what do you see the future for Bodywash? Like, what would you like to accomplish in the next few years?
I'm really excited about the new stuff we've been writing. And for me, I feel like I just really want to put out a second record that feels kind of like a development from the first. And that I feel like is, just a big goal for me is to just like write a record that we're really proud of and something that sort of makes sense with the rest of our music, but also feels like we're kind of growing in a way. I mean, I feel like our other goals were mostly tour-based, which now feels tricky to talk about.
Very tough to talk about. Yeah, and if one of those songs off LP2 just happened to make it into the hands of a music director for like Apple or something along those lines, that'd be great as well.
I don't know about that. It is one of my goals, though, to get one of our songs on like a sad half-hour comedy TV show. That would be great. I would love that.
That would be incredible.
To be like watching, I guess, Portlandia isn't on TV anymore, but any of these TV shows that's on Netflix just like randomly have one of your songs up, just like when you're watching it. And I think it would be better if you didn't know about it. If you were just watching it one day and it's like, wait, that sounds like my song.
Oh, that's a dream.
That would be awesome. I think, unfortunately, I think we would have to give our approval for it to happen, but it would be great if it could just happen. Let's ignore the lawsuit that would follow.
I mean, it would get you some great exposure.
100%.
So this is a question for my personal knowledge. Do you guys still have Comforter on vinyl? Because I was on Bandcamp and I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, we do. I hope it looks like we do on Bandcamp because we definitely do.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, because I want to get myself a copy. I did my homework on you guys, but apparently I didn't dig deep enough because I thought Chris was from Canada as well, but it turns out he's from Australia. But choose between the two, either Mac DeMarco or Home Shake. Who would you go with?
Oh man.
Honestly, Home Shake. Yeah, no questions asked for me.
Musically, Home Shake. Yeah.
Oh, why Home Shake over Mac DeMarco?
I just think he's a bit more understated, and I kind of appreciate that. And I think he's more likely to. I didn't really like the whole acoustic avenue that Mac took, and Home Shake just kind of went in a more quirky electronic direction.
Home Shake went more into nice warm synths, which is always up our alley.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty much like the sound that you guys have, but just more quirky with the lyrics.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
All right, so this game is called Would You Rather, and I have 8 cards laid out in front of me, and I'll have you guys just pick 3, and then I'll just flip it and ask the question, and you guys just give me your answer, okay? Mm-hmm. So you can ask, or you can answer the question individually. Okay. So Chris, I'll start with you. Give me a number between 1 and 8.
5.
5. Would you rather have to grow, hunt, and kill your own food, or eat Taco Bell for a year?
Grow, hunt, and eat my own food.
Oh my God.
Do you hunt? Or have you hunted before?
Very briefly, yes, with moderate success. But I think the growing stuff is definitely. I'm growing a bunch of crops in my apartment right now.
And your apartment?
Difficult. Yeah, my apartment. I got a little front garden in the living room, and then there's a little back roof garden as well. We're going all out the pandemic.
Oh, okay. All right. So Rosie, now I'll ask you 1 through 8.
Okay, 7.
7. Oh, this is a hard one. Would you rather pull a tooth with a pair of pliers or brand yourself with a cattle prod?
Oh boy, definitely pulling a tooth easily.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think the cattle prod, I'll probably pass out from the pain on that. Well,
no brainer on that.
No, I mean, as someone that has basically had a tooth pulled without anesthetic, you can pass out from that too.
God, yeah, that is true.
Okay, so I would smoke a lot of weed and then pull the tooth.
All right, Chris, give me a number.
Wow.
2.
2. Would you rather lick every inanimate object you see, or be licked by every living thing you see?
That's an incredible question. Wait, but every inanimate object that I see?
Light post, street sign, everything. Microphone. So pretty much
they would
everything.
be licking you.
No.
Like, how would
the living
yeah.
persons will lick you? People who are living, that means dogs, cats,
okay.
everything will lick you.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Like people too?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go with licking everything myself, personally.
That's a very weird question. So I got these cards from a company called Poddex, and it's just like a whole bunch of random questions. And I'm like looking through this, and I'm like,
Nice.
This is very weird, but sure, all right, whatever.
Very specific.
It spices things up for sure.
All right, Rosie, I'll do one more with you, and then we'll call it.
4.
4. Would you rather be able to erase people's memories or predict their future?
Oh, erase memories easily.
Damn, why would you want to do that?
I don't, now I realize that makes me sound not great.
It's like my childhood erased.
No, here's my reasoning. I don't want the burden of the future. I don't need that knowledge. I don't want to know that.
So question. So
if I could make people forget when I said something embarrassing or something dumb, absolutely. But I don't need to know what's coming.
All right. So now I'm going to ask you this question. Would you rather change something from your past, or would you want to look into your future 5 years? So
I would change something from my past. Yeah. And
I think of the 28 interviews that I've done, I think maybe one other person has said the same thing. Everybody has always said, I would look into my future. You were very adamant.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, for real? No way.
That's so weird. Yeah. I'm shocked. No, I'm a big past dweller. I think about the past a lot. The future is unimaginable, but I think about the past a lot.
Yeah, can you imagine what our music would sound like if we cared about the future? It would be...
That's a good way to look at it. I know a lot of people live with the whole, have no regrets. I'm like, no, it's some shit that I regret, and I would gladly go back and change.
Yeah, would you go back as well?
Oh, for sure. It would be so much. I would just be telling myself, like, don't do this, don't go here, don't say this.
No competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I appreciate you guys for doing this interview all the way in Montreal. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks so much.
So much fun, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. So, and when it's done, I'll send it your way, and you can give me the thumbs up on whether or not you like me or not.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Okay. Have a great day.
This podcast is a proud member of the BFF.FM podcast network. Learn more at podcasts.bff.fm.
BFF.FM, best frequencies forever.